All right, so here we are. We're going to do part 49 of Every Man's Battle. This is part 49 of our Every Man's Battle study. Again, I'm going to pick it back up from where we left off. We're talking to our ladies, okay, as well as the men right now. So, and this is going to end and close out this chapter as we move on into the next chapter. So, let's see here. Women, on another issue, do you believe that God has given you as a wife a responsibility to be a role model of godliness and holiness to your husband? We received some interesting comments on that question. I'm going to first of all say yes, absolutely. You do have a responsibility to your husband, to be a godly woman, to be a holy woman. You have a responsibility to your husband, even if he's broken his responsibility. One of the things we're going to go on to say is it doesn't matter how much your wife wants sex or doesn't want sex. It doesn't matter, men. It doesn't matter. You still have a responsibility to your wife to be holy to her, to be righteous to her, and to be wholly hers, W-H-O, right? To be wholly hers. So women, you bear the same responsibility in other ways. We are together in this. When you get married, you become one. You don't get married and stay separate. It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. And you may not agree with everything in this thing. You won't agree with a lot of things sometimes that I say. They seem counterintuitive. Even in our coaching program, I got people all the time who tell us that seems counterintuitive. That's not the way it works. And that's why it doesn't work, because nobody does it. You start doing it, and I can tell you, our couples start doing the stuff that they've never done before, and all of a sudden, you know what? It starts working. Things start to change, and all of a sudden, they see a difference in their own marriages. Start doing this stuff. Watch it change, okay? Some women, let's see here. Some women don't feel modeling godliness for their husbands is their role at all. Kathy said, Okay, so the audio got cut off on that last bit, so I'm going to pick it right back up in the same spot, and we're going to keep going. Some women don't feel modeling godliness for their husbands is their role at all. Kathy said, my responsibility is to love him, and that will manifest itself in godliness, but I feel the role model responsibility is primarily his, since he is the leader of our home. Okay. And yeah, he should be the leader of the home. Men, you got to be the leader in your home. The Bible calls you the priest of the home. If you want to be the man in the house, then be a man, not just a male, okay? You're not going to get there through alcohol and drinking and rage. You're not going to get there through abuse. You're not going to get there through those things, okay? Do the right things. Do the right things, and you'll get where you want to be, okay? You'll get the results that you want to get. Now, ladies, you do have a responsibility to his sexual purity. Keeping him sexually pure, how is that possible? How is it possibly my responsibility? Do the thing you're supposed to do as a wife. Be there for him, available to him, the way that some of these ladies have said in here. Sexually be there for him as often as he needs you to be. Make yourself available to him, okay? That's one way. Also, the way you dress around other people is important as well. Keep these things in mind, okay? Yes, he should be the role model, the leader in the home. We don't disagree with Kathy's last statement, but we want to point out that since you're one flesh with your husband, you have the right, even a duty, to play such a role as well. The two become one flesh, okay? You become one flesh with your husband. If a wife acts as a role model, how should it look in everyday life? Heather said, my first responsibility as a role model is to be pure and true sexually to my husband as I expect him to be. Wendy said, I don't try to get Mark to do things that we both know are wrong, like watching sensual movies, she said. I don't do things that would be a stumbling block to him, like leaving Victoria's Secret catalogs lying around open. To some of you, that may not be a big deal, okay? That used to not be a big thing. My wife would leave them everywhere, but the truth of the matter is I'd look them up and pick them up, look at them, and really enjoy the heck out of it. It was kind of a thing that, hey, we get the reality is men get sexual gratification through the eyes. That's the whole point of all that lingerie, things like that. That's the point. If you have those catalogs laying around, women, I guess that means that you are also buying those things and wearing them for your husband. Very good. That's important stuff. That's a good thing to do. But keep in mind, if that stuff is laying around, why do you wear that stuff? You wear it so he can get sexual gratification through his eyes. If he sees that catalog laying around, it's going to provide sexual gratification through the eyes. And that should only come from you. He should only get sexual gratification, ladies, from you. So help him out by not leaving those things laying around. In fact, get rid of it when you're done with it. Get rid of it when you're done with it. Okay? It's very simple. Get it out of there. There's no reason to have it if you're not looking to cause a problem. There's no reason to have it unless you're still shopping in it, too. If you're still shopping in it, okay, fine. Still shopping it. Do the shopping. Get it done. Get it gone, okay? Get it out of his life because he doesn't need that. He needs you to help him out as much as you can. Encourage him and do the right thing, okay? Many women feel that they care more about godliness than their husbands do. As men, this is to our shame. Andrea said, lately, through the preaching of several men and a worship conference a year ago, I met God in a new way and have changed more in the past year than ever before. God has given me a deep desire to purify my life and my home. It's been frustrating at times, though, because there have been many things I've wanted to change, but I've met resistance from my husband. He's a wonderful Christian, but in talking with my sister recently, we've concluded there's a tendency among men to brush off women's attempts to purify our homes. Okay? Read that again, right? We've concluded that there's a tendency among men to brush off women's attempts to purify our homes. Men, do better. For example, I'm no longer comfortable with certain movies. I don't like to watch them, nor do I like my children to watch them, but rather than come across as a holier-than-thou person, God has helped me to keep my mouth shut after voicing my concerns and instead pray about the situation and pray for my husband. That's great. Ladies, pray for your husband. Kathy added, I've never felt I cared more about holiness than my husband. I've never felt that I cared more about holiness than my husband, but I think I put more energy into it. Men, put more energy into it. Maybe it comes more easily to a woman. I don't know. If he seems to be struggling in a certain area, if I confront him or try to be a leader, it has much less effect than when I pray and fast for him. Understand that statement, when I pray and fast for him. This does not mean, what do you call that fasting? Intermittent fasting. This does not mean intermittent fasting. That's not what we're talking about. Fasting and praying is a whole different thing. There are several different levels of fasting. It would take a whole other video to do it. But those different levels of fasting take you into some powerful places, man. And when you are praying and fasting for your husband, ladies, husbands, for your wife, when you are fasting and praying for your wife, for your marriage, you are going to hit some powerful ground. Man, that's good stuff. Hit the ground running. I'm telling you. Listen, repost the video. Join the ministry with me. Repost, repost, repost. Keep reposting. Go back to square one, video one. Take notes. Let's get these things going. There's over 9 hours of video out here that I've got on this already, and we're still going, all right? Meet me in the comments. Let's talk, all right? I'll see you in the next one.